What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's training. We got a really awesome training in store for everybody today. Today's going to be a really great call because I literally went into my Amazon account. I took exact screenshots so you know I'm not full of you know what, and I'm going to share with you 10 items that I purchased on eBay that I sold on Amazon FBA. Now, these aren't items that I sold maybe 3 months ago, 6 months ago, 12 months ago. These are actual items that I've sold within like the last 2 weeks. I went back into my sales the last couple of weeks and I didn't just pluck out the best ones. Some of them are okay flips, others are really, really good. But I just wanted to show you guys the reality of what my business looks like because I buy items on ebay.com and I have them shipped to my prep center. I actually used to have them come to my house. And then what I used to do was open up the boxes, list them, ship them out. Now my prep center opens the boxes, inspects them, lists them, ships them out to Amazon FBA, and then we rinse and repeat. So I'm going to get into sharing my sales, answering a couple common questions in a minute, and then we'll just dive right into sharing these items. And you guys can go out and source these items as well. These are items that are on my replens list that I'm reselling time and time again. There's maybe only one of them that I haven't sold multiple times. Okay, cool. So let's get right into the fun. So on the screen, you can see a picture of me on the left. This was probably from about a year and a half ago when I used to prep all my items myself. And when I got into eBay to Amazon, all I sold was DVDs. If you take a look on this picture over here, there's a whole bunch of DVDs that I sourced on eBay. There's some books mixed in here as well. Nowadays, I sell a lot of different items, not only DVDs, but I flip electronics, tools, video games, board games, pretty much anything under the sun. I really don't sell like health and beauty or supplements too much just because I'm worried about getting IP complaints and I don't know. I just feel like the risk is a bit higher. On the right side is actually a picture of my girlfriend and I. She actually helped me out that day to ship out a whole bunch of boxes to FBA. And we were going to, in a couple minutes after this picture, we took them out, threw them on the steps. UPS came and picked them up. Bada bing, bada boom. But that's my girlfriend, Iris. She is the happiest girl ever nowadays. Not because I'm such a great boyfriend, but because now I don't have all my eBay items getting shipped directly to my house. I'm telling you right now, ever since I got a prep center, she just loved me so much more. That's the thing about eBay to Amazon. There's a lot of trash to throw away and there's a lot of packages showing up on your doorstep. But okay, cool. Let's get into the next slide. So this is a reselling freedom coaching call. Today I did send out this call to a couple other people as well. So if you're not a part of reselling freedom, you could definitely check it out. We host coaching calls 3 to 5 times per week inside of Reselling Freedom. Actually, Reselling Freedom just had its birthday the other day. It's been 2 years since we started Reselling Freedom. And if you take a look at this graphic, these are all of the coaches that are involved with Reselling Freedom. I'm not the only one running it. We got Mike, the used book guy. We got Seth, Diane. We got Jeff, Ivan. We got my good friend Steve and Amanda and Cody. And, you know, we have 5-figure sellers, 6-figure sellers, 7-figure sellers. We have booksellers. We have people who sell shoes on Amazon. We have, you know, eBay to Amazon folks like me, Josiah, Seth. We got Joji who does Amazon to Amazon flips. So if you guys are interested in getting coaching, definitely feel free to check out the community. It's about $1 per day. We have over 500 replays of coaching calls that we've done in the last 2 years, pretty much on any and everything, plus a full course, workshops, you know, replens, all different types of items. So big shout out to everybody a part of Reselling Freedom. So let's talk about my results. This is a screenshot from 2024. If you take a look here, you can see I took this the other day, but this is from January 1st, 2024 to December 31st, 2024. So I sold in total 6,645 items for $706,000, okay? Just shy of $707,000. And can anybody tell me what is my average order? Like what is, on average, how much am I selling my items for? Who here knows how to read these business reports? So you could see the number of orders, you could see the total sales, but what was my average sale per order? Yep, right there, $111. $111. So if you take my total sales of 706,000 divided by 6,645, that's the average order size of the items that I'm flipping. So that's one of the reasons I love eBay to Amazon, is because I don't have to deal with low profit, low margin items that only make $1 or $2 or $3 or $4. You guys are going to see in this call, a lot of the items that I'm flipping are making 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, upwards to $50 per flip. And the best part is you can do this from home. I source all these items from home. I don't even see them anymore. I don't touch them anymore. I've literally outsourced and automated this entire business. Now, I don't want to lie to you and make it sound like this business is like the best thing since sliced bread. There's certainly risks involved, and I'm going to talk about some of those risks, but I'm really going to focus on how to mitigate the risk when selling on Amazon, because it doesn't matter what you do. You could do wholesale, traditional online arbitrage, eBay to Amazon thrifting. There are risks in 2025. I mean, Amazon's gotten pretty nasty over the last 12 to 18 months. So you definitely have to be careful when you're selling on Amazon. And I'm going to cover it. I'm going to be transparent about the good and the bad. Drop a comment, drop a one in the comments if you guys are open to me not only sharing the good, but also kind of trashing Amazon a little bit as well. Not just sharing and blowing smoke up, but sharing the good, but also the bad. Because I hate these calls where like you go on and everyone makes it sound like you're going to become a millionaire, and then you try it yourself and you're like, well, what about this, this, this? You never mentioned that. I'll mention it all. There's good. There's a lot of good, but there's also some bad. All right, so let's answer a couple common questions that people have, before getting into this business model. So most common question I get is, Steve, you did $706,000 in sales. Congratulations. But how much profit did you actually make? So on $700,000, I made about $175,000 profit, but I didn't put all that money in my bank. Why? Because when you're running an Amazon business, you have to always reinvest back into the business. So out of the $706,000, I spent, I don't have the exact number, but it was like, I think a little over $300,000 on inventory, buying on eBay. Plus I had Amazon fees, I had returns, I had items that went stranded. I have items that didn't sell. So my profit came to about 175,000. That's after paying my team, prep center, but I put around $130,000 in my pocket, pure cash flow, because I have about $40,000 per month, like buying inventory, paying for softwares. Like you have to have money in the business that's revolving. So, I'm not getting rich doing this, but I put 130K approximately, a little more than that, in my pocket in 2024 on $706,000. Now, the best part of this is I really only worked about 4 hours per month. Some months I only worked 2 hours. Some months I worked 7 or 8 hours. But I've automated this whole entire business. I have 2 virtual assistants that buy all the items for me using Replen Catcher. I have a prep center that everything gets shipped to. I have somebody on my team who fixes stranded inventory, somebody who reprices, somebody who updates the prep center. So this business is fully automated. Now, I know a lot of you guys aren't in the position to do that. And I'm not here to try to sell you on like, oh, you should automate it all and do exactly what I'm doing. I could only share what I'm doing. For the first 3 years that I did this, I didn't have a prep center. I didn't automate the entire business. I had items shipped to my house. I would open the boxes. I would inspect them. I would list them. I would use GoToLister, so on and so forth. But that's the transparent, reality of the results that I've gotten in my business. Now, again, like I said, keep in mind I've outsourced 99% of this business, listing and shipping through Little Owl Prep. Anybody here use Little Owl Prep? I'm curious. At the Books and Beyond event that we hosted in October with Avery, Joji, and Victor, we actually had the owner of Little Owl Prep come speak. That was really cool to be able to meet Frank of Little Owl Prep. Looks like we got a couple people in here. Mary says, does his program teach us his automation progress? Whose program, Mary? Little Owl Prep isn't a program, it's a prep center. So I don't have any program that I'm selling today, guys. I'm just literally just adding value. But if you have questions, let me know. Like, this is the program. Okay. So one thing to keep in mind is you could easily have better profit margins than me at the end of the day if you're willing to spend more time in your business instead of outsourcing everything like I've done in my business. So again, I have two VAs that source. I have a VA that reprices. I have a VA that and a VA stands for a virtual assistant. I have a virtual assistant that fixes stranded inventory, deals with my prep center, so on and so forth. So my margins are, a little bit lower just because I've automated it all. A lot of people that I work with and friends of mine and people who are in this business, their margins are typically a little bit higher because they're working 40 hours per week. Does that make sense? Put a one in the comments. So this is the part a lot of people might not like, but I can only be transparent and honest. For me personally, I don't look at Amazon as a business. I know that probably sounds like a little weird to say, but I look at Amazon as a side hustle. I look at it as like a farm with a cow on it, and the cow is producing a lot of milk, and I'm there milking the cow, just trying to make as much profit and cash flow as I possibly can. And I take that money from Amazon and I put money back into the business, but my goal isn't to grow it to like 2 million, 3 million, 5 million. I'm really happy with making six figures profit with my business because Amazon has a lot of risks now. There's people getting suspended left and right, deactivated, section threes. Put a two in the comments if you are aware of just how nasty Amazon has been. And this is the part where I'm going to turn some people off, but I can't help it, guys. I'm not here to sell you on all these opportunities and try to make it sound like what I'm doing is the best. I'm here to help you guys. I'm here to, share my honest results, the good and the bad. But Amazon's been a shit show lately. Anyone who tells you that Amazon is just smooth sailing and it's so great and oh yeah, Jeff Bezos really cares about the little guy, it's a bunch of baloney. Amazon's very risky nowadays, and you could do everything right and get effed. Okay, I'm not going to swear because there might be some kids around, but I guess what I want to say is like, you want to mitigate the risk the best you can. Okay, and I'm not willing to reinvest all my money back into the business. I'd rather put it into real estate, into index funds, into crypto, into my personal brand, to building software, because it seems a lot more sustainable. Amazon is really great, but guys, I'm here right now. I've been killing it I've been on Amazon for 10, 11 years. I've been doing eBay to Amazon for 4 years. I have a perfectly healthy account. Okay. I only have one counterfeit complaint on my account right now. I have a 260 Amazon health rating. I've never been suspended. I've never been deactivated, but I'd be lying to you if I didn't tell you there's not a whole bunch of people doing wholesale, retail arbitrage, thrifting, E to A, getting their accounts, in trouble. And it seems like it's really like Russian roulette nowadays. So my advice would be if you're going to sell on Amazon, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Only risk the amount of money that you're willing to lose because right now it's a bit of uncertainty and there's a lot of money to be made on Amazon. I'm doing over 10K a month profit like in my pocket, but I wake up every day and I'm grateful to be alive. So we'll talk about how to avoid it as we go through some of these items I'm going to share with you. I'm going to share with you ways that I mitigate risk, how I avoid counterfeit books, counterfeit DVDs, how I stay away from products that are much more likely to get in trouble with versus products that I call it flying under the radar. So is that fair, guys? As we go through these items, I'm going to share with you a bunch of tips to keep your account healthy. But even then, you could follow all the tips and still get screwed. So nothing is safe on Amazon anymore. Anyone who tells you is trying to sell you a program, lie to you, or protect some type of monetary benefit behind the scenes. I don't care if you're doing online arbitrage, eBay to Amazon, thrifting. It's a nasty, nasty place now, but there's a lot of money to be made, but don't risk more money than you're willing to lose. Nothing's safe on Amazon anymore, okay? But the key is, even though it's a nasty little environment nowadays, there's I'd say 6 or 7 things that you can do that will eliminate 95% of the headaches. Okay. I do this. I sell on Amazon. I don't make all my money selling courses and, programs and all these things. And although I do have, like I have a software, I have a program, I don't go around shilling it and pumping it down people's throats because at the end of the day, I want to help people. And I'm an actual real seller doing this. Anyone who's followed me knows I'm in the trenches. I do this every single day. Okay. But again, like I said, the good news is most of these items that I'm going to be sharing with you today are items that aren't going to get you in trouble. There's a big misconception. People think that every single item on Amazon is equal. That's not true. There's items that you could sell on Amazon that are 1,000 times more risky than the types of items that I sell. Okay. So we'll get into that. Let me know. Did I scare everybody away? Who's scared? Oh, I did put a screenshot here. I didn't know if I put it in the slide. So this is my actual account health rating right here. So you could see everything. I took this like 3 days ago. So I only have one product authenticity complaint doing eBay to Amazon. The Amazon community, like a lot of these online arbitrage sellers and wholesalers will make it sound like thrifting and doing eBay to Amazon and Amazon to Amazon is the craziest, stupidest thing in the whole entire world. But guess what? We actually make money, okay? For an online arbitrage or a wholesaler to make 100,000 and put it in their pocket cash flow, not including reinvesting back into the business, they'd have to do 1.5 million to $3 million, I bet. Most of these guys who you see on YouTube pumping that they did 100K, 200K, 300K, I'm telling you, I know these guys. They're full of it. They're not making any money. The margins are so small. That's what I love about eBay to Amazon. That's what I love about thrifting. Yes, is it riskier? Yes, but we're actually making money. We're not just pumping a bunch of BS down your you know what, making 4%, 6%, 7% margins. The margins with this model, even though it's riskier, are crazy. And my account health is perfectly clean right now. Look at it. 260 United States. I don't really sell a lot in Mexico and Brazil, although I think I sold uh, like $7,000 in 2024 in Mexico and a couple thousand in Brazil. But I'm doing this. I'm proof. If you follow what I share in today's video. Also, another common question I get is how are you sourcing these undervalued items on eBay to flip on Amazon? It must be so hard. Guys, I use replencatcher.com. I'm not here to pitch it. It is a software tool that I've developed over a year and a half ago. Finally, about 6 months ago, I decided to open it up and start sharing it with other people. But Replen Catcher is a tool that essentially monitors close to 2 million products. And when products are found on eBay that sell for a lot more on Amazon, Replen Catcher brings them all together for you, shows them to you, and essentially you can buy them. It's really that easy. So if you guys want to check that out, feel free to, after this webinar, check out replencatcher.com. There's a 14-day trial. You can try it out for yourself, and there's literally thousands of deals that you can buy on eBay to flip on Amazon right now. And if you guys have any more questions, feel free to comment below in the Zoom call, and I'll be opening up the comments from time to time. All right, let's see if there's any comments before we jump into the fun stuff. Yeah, I didn't scare everyone. Oh, we got Rachel Clayman. Man, I miss you, Rachel. Hope you're doing well. Rachel says, not me, been selling almost 5 years, been deactivated twice and came back both times. Look at you, girl. Selling on Amazon is a challenge, but worth it. I only sell used books. Yeah, let me know, Rachel, if I'm being too hard on people. It's just, I never want to be that person who just blows smoke up people's you know what. Like, I want to be real. Maybe I'm being too harsh. Maybe I'm scaring people away, but I don't know. It's just how I am as a person. Okay, so let's get into flip number one. So guys, this is what you're going to see on the screen. You're going to see a picture of the actual item that I sold. Now, this isn't the eBay picture, so this isn't like the actual item I received. It is the actual item, but like I didn't take screenshots from like my eBay store from the ones I purchased. I probably should have, but it's the same exact item. Now, down below here, put a 1 in the comments if you could see this little square down here, and you could see the ASIN, you could see the SKU, LO 38.99, December 29, quantity 1 item, subtotal. This right here is an actual screenshot from inside of my Amazon account, okay? Put a 1 if you can see that, because I want you guys to know that this isn't just a video where I am finding fake items and pretending like I see this on YouTube all the time. People are sharing items, but why don't you show the screenshots? That's why I respect Joji Davenport. He does this all the time. He shares actual screenshots of the books he's flipping. Okay, so these are my actual items. You can see it right here. It's under the Vampire Diaries. It's got the little picture, the ASIN, the SKU. And what I want you guys to pay attention to is this SKU. Does anybody know what LO stands for? I'm going to see who's been paying attention today. This is a custom SKU. Does anybody know what LO stands for? Yes, Kelly. Little owl. So in my custom SKU, I always put where the item's going to. So if it came to my house, I would put home or usually like HO, but you're not going to see any SKUs with that because I've been shipping to my prep center for like 14 months now. So Little Owl is where the item got shipped to. $38.99. Can anybody guess what that means in my custom SKU? Yes, that's what I paid for the item. That's what I paid out the door with shipping, with tax, although I don't pay tax because I'm sales tax exempt. And anyone who does eBay to Amazon should watch the latest video I put on my YouTube channel sharing how to pay 0% sales tax when you buy on eBay if you're a reseller. Now, December 29th is the date that we purchased the item. Is it the date we purchased it or shipped it? Yeah, I think it's the date we purchased the item. We'll go with that. I'm pretty sure it's the date that I purchased it. And then Gia, the last one. Can anyone guess who Gia is? I'm going to see who's paying attention, who can guess. I know Amanda, don't answer it. You know who Gia is. Yes, that's my virtual assistant. So I have where the item's going to, my prep center, what I paid, the date that we bought the item, and then who purchased it, my virtual assistant, okay? You can see the quantity of sales and then what I sold it for. So this right here is a DVD. This is a brand new DVD called The Vampire Diaries, the complete first season. I paid $38.99 and I purchased this on eBay using Replen Catcher. Okay, so Replen Catcher is a software where you can choose the category. So I would click DVDs. I'd put in my ROI and my profit. So say you want to buy an item that makes you a 30% ROI and $10 profit. You put that in Replen Catcher, and then it searches almost 2 million products and brings you all the deals. Now, one of two things are going to happen at that point. You're going to buy those items outright, or you'll put a bid on an auction, or you'll make a best offer. This one right here was a best offer. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I saw it was a best offer on eBay. It was probably like 50 bucks. We made a best offer on it. And we bought this for $38.99. Okay, $38.99. We sold it for $99.99. And again, there's a screenshot. You can see in my SKU what I paid. You can see exactly what I sold it for. This is the ASIN, so feel free to take a screenshot. And this made $30.84 and 79% profit. Now, the date today is February 4th. This sold within the last 2 weeks. I don't know exactly when it sold. I just know I only went back in my sales 2 weeks. So this took probably a couple weeks to sell. You know, it probably took a couple weeks to get checked in. Then it got checked in. $30.84, 79% return on investment. Okay. So I sell all my DVDs. Well, I wouldn't say all. I'd say 95% of them as brand new sealed. Now, you might be thinking, what if the item gets shipped to me and it's damaged or it's used? You can return it back. There's nothing an eBay seller can do to screw you if the item is not described. If anything, you just open up a case, you get your money back. There's never been a time where I haven't been able to get my money back from an eBay seller if the item comes damaged. That's why you have to make sure you inspect the items or have your prep center inspect it. So this was a really, really nice flip. Now be careful with DVDs, especially complete series. Here's a couple tips I want to share how to keep your account clean, okay? If you're going to sell DVDs, make sure that they're not less than 10,000 sales rank. Does everybody hear me clearly? You don't want to be selling DVDs from eBay that are less than 10,000 rank. Why? Those are the ones that are most likely to be counterfeit. Also, another thing that I always do is I will go on eBay and I will look for that item and make sure there's not a bunch of other sellers selling quantity of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Why? Because those are the types of items that are counterfeited most. A bootlegger or a counterfeiter, when they sell fakes, they're not just selling 1 or 2. A lot of times they have 5 or they have 10. Another thing you can do, go into the eBay seller store and check out the other types of items that they have. If they have a whole bunch of complete series, DVDs that are 2,000 rank, 5,000, 7,000, I stay away from those because they're just way too risky. Even if they're under 20,000 rank, I start to get a little bit nervous. So, Steve, what's the sweet spot? I like to stay 30,000 to 100,000 rank. That's really my sweet spot when it comes to selling DVDs. Now, I have sold DVDs up to 200, even 300,000 rank. But once you get over, like I'd say 125, 150,000 rank, they really start to sell a lot slower. So put a comment, put a one down below if you fully understand what DVDs to stay away from. eBay sellers selling multiple quantities, stay away. Less than 10,000 rank, stay away. If the seller has a bunch of different quantities, stay away. If they have a bunch of stuff in their store that just is like really fast selling, popular, multiple quantities, stay away. Those are the ones that are going to get you section 3. Those are the ones that are going to be mostly counterfeit. If you're flipping DVDs that are 7, 8 years old, 10, 12 years old, which are a lot of the DVDs that I flip that are 50, 80, 100,000 rank, you're not going to have any issues with those for the most part. Of course, it's not guaranteed, but a lot safer. What's up, Clint? We got Clint in the house. Are you sending a new DVD back to the buyer if it's loose in the case when it arrives? So I am. It really pisses them off. But we actually have a script that we send out to eBay sellers after we purchase a DVD. So say, for example, Clint, you're using Replen Catcher, which I know you're a part of it. You buy a DVD. What I would do immediately after is send them a message and say, hey, just want to thank you so much for selling me this DVD. Hey, before you ship it out, can you make sure that the item's not like severely damaged? It doesn't have any like big dents, that the DVD or CD isn't loose inside shaking around, because I'm very particular about the items that I purchase. And 9 out of 10 times they'll be like, oh, okay, that's fine. That's cool. It's all good to go. And then sometimes they'll say, hey, it is loose inside. Do you want to cancel it? And then, you could cancel it. So we have a script. If you want to remind me, Clint, in Replen Catcher, send me a message. I can get you that script and send that over to you. All right. Let's get on to flip number 2. What'd you guys think of that? One DVD flip, less than a month, 79% ROI, $30 profit. That's sick. All right. This is a board game that I have sold many, many times before, probably 30 times in the last 5 years. I have flipped this board game many, many times. It doesn't sell like ridiculously fast. I think it usually is sitting around like a 2 to 400,000 rank. I don't even know where it is right now, but you guys can look it up. Pick this up with the Replen Catcher. Of course, guys, check out Replen Catcher. Makes sourcing very easy. Paid $30.75. Sold it for $75.99. I purchased this December 7th. Where did I ship it to? What does LO stand for? Little Owl Prep. This is the ASIN. Feel free to, steal this, put it on your replens list. Sold this, probably took about a month, month and a half, 2 months, and made $20.79, 67% profit. I love this game, guys. I found this at the thrift store before, and this is a really good game on eBay to make a best offer. You'll see quite a bit of these available for sale. For 40, 45. Make a best offer on this. I flip these all the time. Let's actually go ahead and take a look at this. Let me know, can you guys see my screen right now? I want to make sure you can see my Amazon sales page. You can see Seller Amp on the left-hand side. Give me a 1 if you can see that. Let's check out the history of this item right here together. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to pull everything off of this besides the buy box. So you can see right here, over the last year, this ranges anywhere from up to about 75. It looks like the highest was about 75. Right now, it's been consistent around 72. What did I sell this for? I sold this for, wow, $75.99. So I sold it right at the top. Perfect. Sometimes it does tank a little bit in price, but that looks like it's a merchant down to 40 or 50 bucks. When it does tank down here, usually the eBay prices will tank as well a little bit. Good time to pick it up. This is a very, very solid item. And you can see the price right now has gone back up to about 70 bucks. Hey, I see some of my friends on this listing too. I know one of them's watching right now. I'm not gonna expose their store. Um, but it's fine. I don't mind. People shouldn't be so scared about their store being exposed just because, especially if you're doing eBay to Amazon or thrifting, there's so many deals out there. I'll give you guys 100 of replens. It won't even touch a drop in the bucket of the amount of different types of products that I'm flipping. But yeah, the offer count went down and the price went up. You can see right here when it went down to 48, the offer count went up to about 15 or 16. So just be careful if the offer count is trending up. Sometimes the price will come down temporarily, but this is pretty solid. If you open this up, look at this. This thing has been real consistent and it spikes. Look, it always spikes during the holiday season. Although this year it didn't really spike too much. Yeah, I used to sell this back in the day for like 100 bucks, but the price has definitely come down a little bit. All right, cool. Let's get into the next item. Another board game. Who likes flipping board games? I love flipping board games. Quelf. I don't even know if that's how you pronounce it, but where you obey the card. Okay, the unpredictable party game. Where did I source this? Replen Catcher, of course. Guys, I don't use FlipMine anymore. I used to use FlipMine. That's an alternative eBay to Amazon software. It's a good software. Nothing wrong with it. Replen Catcher is just way faster. A lot more items in the database. You can also track replens on the back end. It has a way better layout, way faster. It's just, there's so many cool features with Replen Catcher, whereas FlipMine, it's like kind of going to your grandma's or your grandparents' house. It's fun. It's a good time. You're going to get some cookies and milk, but, you know, I don't even know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I don't really use FlipMine anymore. Paid 20, sold it for $49.99. Not a huge flip right here. Made $9.85, 47% ROI. Still not bad. Gia picked this up December 5th. We shipped it to Little Owl Prep. It just sold recently within the last couple of weeks. So, it's not a lot of money. But guys, this is easy. It's easy. You buy it, comes to your house, you unbox it. You like what I like to do when I used to have items shipped to me is I would unbox everything on one day. So I'd get like 300 items shipped over the, week period. And if you don't believe me, go to my Instagram at Rake and Profit, scroll back about 15 months, and you'll see what used to happen at my doorstep. What happened on my doorstep stayed on my doorstep. But and that's another thing that I don't even know what I'm talking about. But it was a lot of fun. I'll tell you right now. The neighbors thought I was selling drugs. 985, 47% ROI. Let's take a look at the history of this one right here. Let's see what's going on with this. I feel like the price of this has come down over the years. Wow, this thing is so consistent throughout the year. This is so consistent. Look at that buy box. I love a buy box like that. But I could swear that when I started flipping board games back in 2021, it was higher. Let's see if I'm right or wrong. Yep, I remember. Yeah, I used to sell this for like 70, 80 bucks. I wonder if I could see myself on here anytime back then. Oh, might have. But yeah, it's slowly come down in price a little bit just because I think there's a lot more people doing eBay to Amazon now. When I started back then, I remember when I used to source items, there was no competition. Now there's quite a bit of competition now, but if you use the Replen Catcher and use the Replen feature and create advanced filters and stuff, I mean, Replen Catcher just has so many cool things that you can do with it to essentially crush anybody using FlipMine. You'll find deals easy. It's super duper easy, but it's not as easy as it used to be. I'll put it that way. But yeah, cool little item right there. Who wants to see more items? I need to know right now. I need you to put your favorite emoji in the comments down below. I'm going to pull the screen share off for a second, see who's in the house. Who wants to see some more items? These are exact items from my account. I am exposing the Rake and Profit Amazon store. Just for Bill, because Bill's here. Oh, Amanda's here too. I knew I smelled trouble. Yeah. Matt says, I sold this one probably 20 times, been solid. Nice. We got Dave here from California. What's up, Dave? Oh, we got the unicorn. We got the party emoji. Could you share how to get ungated in board games? So, you could use Target, you can use Kohl's. Really just any retail receipt should work. I don't know if anybody else has any other tips for getting ungated, but you just, honestly, if you're trying to get ungated for something, go into any popular Facebook group and just ask, hey, how did you guys get ungated for Hasbro or for this? But keep an eye out at Kohl's, at Target. They accept a lot of them. Sometimes they don't, but you just have to be persistent. Yeah, DVDs, christianbook.com. Oh, Aaron's here. Were you here when I made that comment about your store? Just give me a thumbs. Oh, you weren't here. I was looking through the Keepa chart and I was like, I saw somebody's store. I know it, dude. You got to change that name, W Dub. All right. It's okay. I'm elite. All right, so let's move on to the next one. Okay, let's get back to the fun. Back to the fun. All right, what do we got next? Okay, I'm trying to make this screen smaller. 1 second. Okay. All right, perfect. So here we have another DVD. So this is The Evil Dead, Evil Dead 2. And I paid $40.63 for this. I'm curious, Aaron, are you flipping DVDs nowadays, or is your team mostly focused on other items? I'm curious if Aaron's flipping DVDs. Let me know in the comments. Aaron, if you guys don't know, he is crushing it. I mean, I could guarantee you're smoking my sales right now. My sales in January are pathetic, so bad. It's because I took some time off buying in December. I just gave my VAs and my team a vacation, so we didn't buy a ton. So my sales have been crap, but it's fine. I make most of my profit usually the last 6 months of the year. Matter of fact, I don't know if I shared this in the eBay to Amazon Masterclass group, but I was looking through my cash flow and my actual profit. I made 50% of my profit in the last 3 months of the year. Last 3 months of the year. So this was a pretty cool one. 40.63 is what I paid. Bought this December. Wow. Is my team working on Christmas, December 25th? Hey, I told them to take the day off. If they're gonna work, I don't know what to say. Sold it for 84, 53% ROI, $21 profit. Let's investigate this DVD right here. Let's go into it and take a look. Wow, looks like the buy box is a lot higher right now. Let's see if my team priced this item wrong. Oh, that's interesting. So the price is really jumping up. Can anybody guess why the price is going up? You can see the number of sellers is going down. Actually, it went out of stock a little bit. Wow, wow, holy crap. Look at this thing. Right here, this DVD, Amazon was selling it all the way up until 2023. Look at this. You see the orange? Amazon, you could have bought this DVD in 2022, 2023 for $10. And you could have sold it. I sold this for how much? $84, my exact screenshot right there. That's wild. Interesting. It's interesting why some of these DVDs really pop off so much. Now, what I've noticed with products that go out of stock from Amazon is usually for like a year period, sometimes a couple months, the buy box is suppressed. They kind of they don't want you selling it for such a high price. They'll probably give you high pricing errors. But yeah, look at it. It was suppressed for a while, but then it looks like right around November, people were buy boxing for 85, 95, 95. Wow, now it's up at $117. One seller, KCKGJ Media, 117 bucks. I don't know if they're going to get it, but I sold this for $84. That's pretty cool. Wow, look at that. We could have all gotten rich together, guys. This is like the Bitcoin of DVDs. Holy smokes. Pretty cool. 21 bucks profit. Let's see. Is there trainings available if we sign up for Replen Catcher or trainings on how to set filters? Yeah, if you join Replen Catcher, we have like a welcome area. So when you join, like we have videos and training that I've made about how to use it all. And we have a Facebook community too. So it's the thing about Replen Catcher is it's really easy to use. It's not very complicated. I've used a lot of softwares. Any tips for getting ungated for books? You can't really get ungated for books. The only thing you can do is sell more books and then they'll slowly auto ungate you. But I don't think there's much you can do to get ungated. Okay, just going through the comments. All right, let's keep flying through here, guys. Here's another flip. Who here, let me know, who here is ungated in DC? Who can sell McFarlane? I love, guys. Anyone here who uses Replen Catcher, if you're ungated in Disney, if you could sell McFarlane, DC, Star Wars, Lego, it is an absolute jackpot city. That's all I'm going to say. If you can sell these types of items, which a lot of people can't because they don't take the time to get ungated, man, you are missing out. Look at this. Look at this puppy. Paid $38.95. How do you know I'm not full of shit? Look at my SKU. Look at it all. What do you think? I'm going to Photoshop all this? I'm showing you guys legit like what I'm buying and paying, and like this is what I flip. $38.95. Bought it in November, so it did take December, maybe 2.5 months to sell. So this thing didn't turn over instantly, right? Sold it for $99.50. Big shout out to Jane. And what does that come out to? $35.75 profit, 61% ROI. Let's take a look at this little puppy right here. And let me know in the comments who can sell this stuff. Let me see. Is anybody selling this stuff, or am I the only crazy son of a gun? Yes, Matt Carlin. That's why you're crushing it. What does ungated mean? That means initially you're going to be restricted and you're going to have to buy from like a distributor, like 10 of a product, just the cheapest thing possible. Send the invoice to Amazon and then they'll let you sell it for the most part. Some items, they might require more items. I can't remember where I got ungated. Probably like Target or Kohl's, something like that. Just got to find the brand and just buy 10. Look at this. Here's another tip, guys. If you're going to sell toys, if you're going to sell electronics, if you're going to sell even board games, don't go after the sexy, hot selling, freaking traditional online arbitrage bullcrap. That stuff is going to get you IP complaints. That stuff's going to get you counterfeit claims. Stuff like this, you're flying under the radar. It's only selling 15 times a month. It's a 340,000 rank. If you watch any of these guys' videos on YouTube, they would tell you to pass on this. Why would I pass on this item? I just made 30 something dollars profit. Yeah, it did take 2.5 months, but I just set it and forget it. I bought it, sent it in, and it turned. Let's take a look at the history of this. Look how sweet this looks. Oh, I see some of my people on. You know what's funny about eBay to Amazon? There's like only 20 hard hitters. The rest of the 500 to 1,000 people who try, they just give up after a week. Oh, it's too hard. It's not hard. It's easy. You just got to put some effort in. You just got to learn how to use Replen Catcher, which is super easy. You got to start getting ungated. And if you don't want to get ungated, fine, don't. Start with books. Get ungated with DVDs. If you can't get ungated with DVDs, you shouldn't be in business. It's the easiest possible thing to do. Go to christianbook.com, buy 10, bada bing, bada boom. The profits are coming soon. Okay? Look at this. This thing's nice. Look at the trends and sellers up and down, but it stays nice and consistent. This is a nice looking keeper chart. Wow, this thing popped off after 2021, after Amazon went out of stock. Boom, popped up. Real nice. I love this. Yeah, we got some other FBA sellers on it. Oh my God, I'm so sick of it. I'm not going to say anything. All right. All right, let's get to the next flip. So here's another board game. Who here has ever flipped this? I know Matt, if you're still watching, I know Aaron, you've had to have flipped this before. I flipped this thing so many times. It's a big son of a gun. This thing's got some size to it. This is called MindFlex. Think it, move it, believe it. Okay. Where did I source it? eBay.com using Replen Catcher. What did I pay? $69.19. Sold it for $134.95. Not that great of an ROI, only a 42% ROI. 2 years ago, I would have said 42% is phenomenal. Now I want the 50, 60, 70% ROI. Why do I want that high of an ROI? Because I'm a greedy son of a gun. No, that's not the reason. The reason I want a higher ROI is because you have to understand on Amazon, there'll be returns, there'll be stranded inventory, high pricing errors, items that get freaking sent back to you because Jeff Bezos is a son of a gun. So you got to have that margin. How do you build margin? By going after items that have a high ROI, higher than you would expect. 2022, I didn't make as much cash flow, total profit in my bank account that I wanted to, even though I had some good sales compared to what I know I could do, because I was messing around with 25%, 30% ROIs. You got to get away from that. Got to get up to the 50, 60, 70% ROIs to cushion the BS that happens on Amazon. Okay. Put a 1 if you want to cushion the BS on Amazon. Gosh, I drank too much coffee today, guys. Too much coffee. I noticed you're only looking at the used buy box on Keep a Chart. No, I'm looking at the new buy box. Do you also consider the black used line? So the black used line is used. So the reason I'm not paying attention, Kelly, great question, by the way, to the used buy box is because I'm selling new. I don't care what the used buy box is. It means nothing to me. If I was selling used, I would be interested in the new buy box because that's like the limit, that's the cap. And I want to make sure that the used and new isn't too close to make sure I'm pricing it correctly. But all I typically look at on a Keepa chart is the number of sellers, the sales rank, the pink line, which is the buy box, and then the new, which is the blue line. That's like the lowest overall new offer. So yeah, Sandra says bought 10 cheap books from christianbook.com and sent in multiple times to get ungated 9% of the time. Yep, bada bing, bada boom. Is ASIN the same as the ISBN? ISBN is for a book. ASIN is like uh, ASIN is like the identifier for a product on Amazon. So every product typically has like a UPC or a like an ISBN number for a book. That's the identifier for the product. The ASIN is the identifier on Amazon. All right, let's keep going. I don't know why they took so many fees out of this item right here. When I was calculating my profit, I was actually surprised because I paid 25.19, sold it for 61. I thought my profit would have been higher, but $16.54 on this item right here. 65% ROI. What did we pay? $25.19. And this was another best offer. So the great thing about Replen Catcher is you could track and monitor all your best items, pull them in. With Replen Catcher, I set my ROI at 20%. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Steve, you just said to go after 40, 50, 60% ROI. Why would you set it at 20%? Because I want Replen Catcher to pull in all the opportunities that are 20%, 30%. Why? Because I'm going to smack those eBay sellers with the best offer. And guess what? Those eBay sellers are picking these items up at thrift stores and garage sales and selling crap around their house that they're picking up for a buck or two. So maybe they're listing it for 40 and I make an offer for 25. Hey, eBay sometimes is really slow. Who here has ever sold on eBay and your items just sit and sit and sit and sit and you're like, what the heck? I see these items selling in the sold listings all the time. Why isn't my item selling? Who knows what the eBay algorithm does? Sometimes items just sit. So if you're an eBay seller and you bought an item for 40, excuse me, if you bought an item for $1 at a thrift store, you're selling it for 40, but someone makes an offer for 25 and sales have been slow. What do you think the odds are that the eBay seller is going to accept it? Now, I'm not here condoning lowballing and disrespecting eBay sellers. I was an eBay seller for many years. And if you go too low, they're going to say no. But eBay's great. I love making best offers. Who here makes best offers on eBay? Oh, God, I love it. I have dreams about it. Here's an item that I flipped. This thing didn't do very well. We actually bought this at the end of September. We were trying to sell this for a lot more, I believe, and we'll go in and confirm that. Ended up selling it for 102. I believe this item tanked in price. I think a lot of sellers came on, paid 57.68, sold it for 102, only made a 30% ROI, $17.69. This is almost like, honestly, guys, and I'm not trying to impress you, I'm just trying to impress upon you the fact that most of my bad buys now make 20 to 30% ROI. I very, very rarely will sell an item that loses money. Why? Can anybody guess why? Because I'm so smart? No, I wish that was the case. It's because I'm buying items that are discontinued. I'm buying items that are rare, hard to find. I'm finding items and buying items that don't have a ton of sellers on the listing. There might be 10 sellers on a listing, but 8 of them are FBM, right? I look at FBA sellers because I'm FBA's competitive sellers. There's not a lot of competition. Whereas if you're going and doing online arbitrage and sourcing from freaking Bed Bath and Beyond, if they even exist anymore, or whatever store you're doing online arbitrage in, and Amanda, if you're still here, how many times, Amanda, did you buy these online arbitrage items after all these gurus made it sound like it was so great? And then guess what? You buy 20 of them, you send them all in, and then everybody else does the same thing and it tanks the price. Yes, that could happen with eBay to Amazon, but why doesn't it? Why doesn't it happen? Because it's hard to source. It's not necessarily like hard to do it. Like it's not like super, you don't got to be like tech savvy, but you have to go in, use a software like Replen Catcher. There's only a couple available. You can't buy 20 of them. They're not even around. They're discontinued. You might have to make a best offer. There's maybe only one available every couple of weeks. But the great thing is about eBay to Amazon, I have like 6,000 plus items on my replens list. Okay. So I don't care about giving you guys these 10 items, right? I'll give you guys 10 items a day for the next year. 2 years actually. But these items don't necessarily tank in price if you're willing to wait. Sometimes it will tank temporarily if some dum-dum comes on the listing and it's been selling for $100 for the last 9 months and dum-dum comes on a listing for 60. Fine, it tanks. But don't chase them down. Let that person sell out and the price is going to come right back up. So I'm going after items that are in demand. I'm going after items that are in demand but not super popular. You don't have companies attacking you with IP complaints for the most part. It does happen though, like if you get like some board games and stuff. I know Amanda got hit with one. And then there is the element of like Russian roulette. Sometimes you do everything right. You go after DVDs over 20,000 rank. You buy, this or that and follow these rules, not multiple quantities. And then for some reason, you just get effed. It happens. Okay. I'm not here to tell you that it can't happen. It could happen. Probably will happen to me one day. But there's not a lot of tanking. That's what I love about it. But this is like an example of kind of a shitty flip. So let's see what happened here. Let's see if I'm pulling information on my you know what, or if this actually happened, because I remember looking at this. Okay, 64,000 ranked, nothing special. Yep. Look at this. We bought this in late September. So we were probably thinking that we can sell this for 118, and there was some history of it selling for like 110, even upwards to, it looks like some crazy people were selling it higher. Wow. Holy smoky dokies. This is, that is a drop in price. Now, the good thing about this is it's happening slowly. This is happening over a 4-year period. But look at this. You can see the number of sellers is slowly going up. How's the demand on this? Let me open up the sales rank. There's a consistent sales rank, but this thing is just slowly tanking in price. But the good thing is, that's why you want to buy with enough padding, enough profit, enough ROI, because if something happens like this, it looks like we bought it when? In September. Let me open this back up again. So we bought it around here, and it looks like, what did we get rid of this for? 102. So we didn't actually do too bad. I think the team was probably shooting for like 110, 115, which would have jumped the ROI up to like 45, 50%. Interesting. I'm going to see if there's any questions that are coming in. I must be dealing with some candy ass eBay sellers. I send them an offer, usually up to $2 off, and they decline. Yeah, some eBay sellers are really stupid. I wish I can literally just care. No, I'm not going to say what I was going to say. Never mind. But yeah, some eBay sellers, I gotta watch myself. I'm too caffeinated now. Jesus, you're right. Some eBay sellers are really stupid. Like, sometimes I have an item that I want to source and it's like right there at like 38% ROI, and I want to get to 40% or 45. They're asking $80. I make you an offer for 75. Instant decline. Instant. The item sells on eBay once a month, so you're going to wait another month for $5. I get it. Hey, everybody has their own choice in business. But yeah, there's a lot of those types of people out there. But, around 40 to 50%, I always say 50%, but I think more accurate is probably like 40 to 50% of my offers get accepted, because I'm not making like insanely low best offers. It's usually somewhere in the range of like a 10 to a 30% discount I'm asking for. So, all right, let's get back. Let's finish up these last couple items here. I'm going to kind of fly through these. So here's an electronic item, a bit more advanced. Does take a little more work to get ungated for items like this. Lutron, I love flipping this. I've sold hundreds of Lutron items, not this specific ASIN. I've sold this before, probably like 30, 40 times, but really, really great item to flip. Great brand. I actually got a counterfeit complaint on this brand before for another item. So it wasn't even a super popular item, but just goes to show, you never know. 61 to 149.99, $57 profit. Now keep in mind, My average return rate on DVDs and books is probably like 3-4%. When you start messing with items like this, you're going to get up to 7-8-9%. So just know that ROI looks really sexy. But keep in mind, there are returns that happen. So I just want to be transparent with that. And then a puzzle. Here's a Ravensburger puzzle right here. Paid $25.88, sold it for $59. As you can see in the screenshot down below, sent it to Little Owl Prep. Bought it early December, sold it. Took about a month and a half. $13 profit, 50% ROI, brand new sealed. So those are the 10 items, guys, that I flipped from eBay to Amazon recently for $50 plus. Hey, if you're thrifting, doing any traditional means of sourcing, library sales, Facebook Marketplace, flea markets, garage sales, library sales, in my opinion, I think that you should 1,000% start, experimenting with eBay to Amazon sourcing. We had a guy who joined Replen Catcher. Probably, I don't know if Brian V is watching right now. I know he's in the selling books group that I run. He started a couple weeks ago. Spent like $3,000 on DVDs already in the first couple of weeks. And I mean, he was sending me screenshot after screenshot, and I was helping him out, like validating some things. He just sold an item the other day. I think he, like 3x'd his money on one DVD, made like 30-40 bucks. I mean, the money is out there, guys. If you want help, doing this, follow me, on YouTube, Rake and Profit. Check out Replen Catcher, replencatcher.com. You can get a free 14-day trial if you want to, start sourcing some deals. And if you use the code Replen10, take a screenshot of this, guys, for anyone who wants to use Replen Catcher. This will save you 10% off on all plans for life. And yeah, you could use it for 14 days for free. Most of the people who sign up for Replen Catcher make enough potential profit, because that obviously takes some time for the items to sell, but they typically make enough potential profit within the free trial alone to pay for like 6 to 12 months of the software. So it's pretty easy to do. Obviously, it takes a little bit of time, a little learning curve to learn how to do it. And the second way I can help you guys is, again, reselling freedom. We have over 10 coaches. We do 15 to 20 live coaching calls per week on thrifting, selling books, library sales, how to list, how to ship, how to do eBay to Amazon, Replen Catcher sourcing. We have a full course. So, if you want more support, mentorship, it's about $1 per day, resellingfreedom.com. Plus, you get access to over 500 coaching calls that we've done in the last 2 years, which is pretty awesome. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask away, and I'm going to answer a couple questions here for a couple of minutes. See if I missed anything. Lori says, who wants to lose money? I don't know, some eBay sellers. Holy smoky dokies, where do you come up with this stuff? I don't know. It's all this caffeine. It's got me going crazy today. How much money would you need to start doing eBay to Amazon? I mean, outside of like, you need to have like a computer to list on, a printer, like some supplies. Like outside of that, I won't include that. You can start doing eBay to Amazon, thrifting, Amazon to Amazon flips for like $100 or less. The thing is, you're not going to make a lot of money if you're only playing with like a $300, $400, $500 bankroll. Um, when it comes to selling on Amazon, the way you make, 2,000 a month, 3,000, 5,000 a month profit is you have to spend money. It's a capital intensive business. So the more money that you're playing with, the more money that you can make. But you could start with $100, buy a couple items, flip them, and then you turn your $100 into 130, and then you turn it into 200, and then 300. It's just kind of a slow game that way. Um, but when you start anything new, it's best to start on a budget anyways, even if you have $5,000 to invest. And I think, Damien, Bill, everybody would agree. You don't just put all your money in the beginning. You play with a small amount. It's like if you're going to learn about crypto or do any of that stuff, you don't put 10 grand right into it unless you're really convicted. Play around, do some trades. If you're going to be a day trader, whatever you do, play around on a budget, learn how to lose a little bit of money, because you're going to lose. You can watch every one of my videos, go through my course. The odds are you're going to still make some stupid decisions in the beginning, just because that's how we as human beings learn. We have to get in, make mistakes, and then we're like, oh, okay, maybe Steve knew what he was talking about after selling 30,000 items in the last 4 years. But yeah, the more money, the better, but I would start slow for sure. Who makes the counterfeit complaints? So with books, you got to be careful with books. Another great tip is do not buy a book from a thrift store, from a library sale, eBay to Amazon, Amazon to Amazon without running it through Books Run Counterfeit Calculator. Books Run Counterfeit Calculator, they have a database of books and they kind of tell you which ones are likely or unlikely to be counterfeit. 9 out of 10 times when people get sued by a law firm, which happens sometimes with books, it's because they're selling books that are coming up as likely to be counterfeit. Joji Davenport, really great resource. Follow him on YouTube. That guy is a wealth of knowledge when it comes to books. But customers can make them too, you know. Okay. Thanks for having an affordable option for Replen Catcher for folks just doing this. Absolutely. Uh, Now I find your code when signing up 2 days ago. Well, Heidi, you can reach out to support and just let them know, and they could cancel your account and you could just start your free trial again and put in the code, or they can help you on the back end. So don't worry, just email them. They'll take care of you. Which version do you suggest in Replen Catcher? I would just start with the cheapest option. Replen Catcher gets expensive if you're trying to do advanced things with it and track a ton of replens, but there's the cheapest plan is $29.99 a month, and that gives you access to 1.6 million products in the live stream. That's what most people use. If you have a lot of custom replens that you want to track and monitor that are outside of our database, and there's other benefits of tracking replens with Replen Catcher. I'm not going to get into it now. Then there's other plans for it, but honestly, 90% of the people just the cheapest plan is going to do a lot of magic for you. Keep your expenses down as much as you can in the beginning. When starting and getting products shipped to your house, can you remove all the shipping labels and then reuse the packaging to ship to Amazon? Well, most of the items that you buy from eBay, especially if you're doing media items, they're just going to come in like poly mailers and stuff. So you can't really use that. I mean, you could use the packing material and stuff, absolutely. Just don't use bubble, like the little bubble thingy, like you know what I'm talking about. Don't use the packing peanuts. Amazon doesn't like that. And don't use newspaper either. But you could reuse if you get big boxes, but I like to ship clean boxes, sturdy boxes to Amazon. Do you have a good eBay prep fulfillment center? Yeah, Little Owl Prep. That's who I use. I'm not affiliated. I just support them. How to check for risky counterfeits on Replen Catcher. So the number one thing I would say is make sure you're not selling items that are super duper popular. The items that are selling 100, 200, 300 items a month, those are very risky. I like to stay away from those. I like to see that there's a good amount of sellers on the listing, 5, 6, 7, 8, a good history of sellers on the listing and no big sharp drop-offs with the number of sellers. I don't like to see 10 sellers on a listing and then boom, there's one. Or if the brand is on the listing, I stay away. Also, IP Alert is a great resource. IP Alert, I think it's like $100 or something like that. That will alert you of brands that are known to give IP complaints. So those are a couple tips. Yeah, Damien says Little Owl Prep, Central Virginia Prep for books. Yep, two good ones. Kelly says I lost about $1,000 trying this and first time learned a lot, ready to try again. Why did you lose $1,000, Kelly? What did you do wrong? It's really hard to lose money doing this unless you're buying items you're restricted on. Okay, that's one mistake. Not checking if you're gated. Also, number two, don't buy items from eBay to Amazon or Amazon to Amazon or anything that costs more than $1 if you don't learn how to read a Keepa chart. Keepa will tell you the history of the item, what it's been selling for in the past, who's winning the buy box, the history of the number of sellers. Again, if the number of sellers is going down, that's typically a good sign. If the number of sellers is going up, it's not necessarily a bad sign, but typically the price may go down or there might be risk of it. But yeah, that's the biggest thing. People will buy, they'll spend $1,000 and then the items don't sell. Well, maybe you're buying items that are too high sales rank, or you're not reading the Keepa chart to get a good idea of what it's actually selling for. You have to learn how to analyze deals first. That's why I always tell people start thrifting first before you get into eBay to Amazon. I did run it through there, still got a section 3. That's the thing. That is the thing. Bill probably agrees with this too. Books run is great, but there is still a chance. Boom. I don't know why I give such bad examples like that, but it's like Amazon just takes you out. There's nothing. You did everything right. And that's why I always give the disclaimer, guys. I never want to be the type of person where, like, I got people making YouTube videos about me down the road. Oh, Steve told me eBay to Amazon and Amazon was so safe and you're never going to get in trouble. I do everything I possibly can to keep my account safe, but one day it just might be the day that my time is up. You can run all your books through Books Run Counterfeit Calculator, but hey, sometimes publishers attack you and it's not in the Books Run database. I don't know what to say. It's a risk. But it's so funny how we're willing as human beings to go on the road and jump in our car and drive to the coffee shop, and we don't worry about getting killed on the road. I hate to be so dark and gruesome. I told myself I wasn't going to give this example before the call, and now I'm doing it. But it's like we're so willing to just jump in a car and drive. We're going to drive to New York. We're going to drive 2 hours, and we just have full faith nothing's going to happen. And 99% of the time it won't. But sometimes people drive drunk or people don't obey the traffic signs. I mean, there's risks out there. And it's like we want to sell on Amazon with no risks, yet we're willing to drive in a car when there's huge risks of something happening. I know it's kind of a nasty example, but I mean, all you can do is when you drive in your car, don't be texting, put a seatbelt on, have your head on a swivel. Don't just assume people are going to stop at the stop sign. So you do these things to avoid getting into car accidents. Does it still mean someone's not going to fly over a hill and take you out? No, but you have to have faith. On Amazon, you could do all the things right, but sometimes you can just get screwed. It's business. That's why most people just work a job. And even then, people think jobs are so safe, you can get fired anytime. That was my rant for the day. I mean for selling on eBay. Oh, someone wants to know a prep center for eBay. I don't know about that. I'm not in the eBay game anymore. Yeah, Kelly, didn't know Keepa well enough. I knew it. I knew you didn't. I'm not trying to target you. I don't mean that with disrespect. That was like mean. But what I meant is anybody who ever says they lost money doing eBay to Amazon, they don't know how to read a Keepa chart. If you don't know how to read a Keepa chart, keep your money in your pocket. If you don't know how to read a Keepa chart, keep your money in your pocket. Don't buy anything unless you go to a thrift store. You know, people get away with not knowing how to read a Keepa chart and make money thrifting. Do you know why? Because they're relying on the scanning apps. They're relying on Scout IQ, right? The algorithm that Scout IQ and Scoutly has. And you're only spending $1. You could make 5 bad decisions out of 10. So say you buy 10 books and 5 of them suck. You could make enough money out of those 5 books at the thrift store to make up for all 5 of those mistakes and still be mega profitable. Because when you go thrifting, you're making 100, 200, 400, 500% ROI. When you do eBay to Amazon, all your mistakes smack you in your face. You feel every mistake because you're not spending $1 on a DVD. You're spending $10 to flip it for 40. So if you don't know how to read a Keepa chart, keep your money in your pocket. I'm gonna have to. That's my new T-shirt. It's gonna be a picture of me and Bill. I'll be on the front. Bill will be on the back. Keep your money in your pocket. Does the Replen software have training on Keepa charts? No, but you can just go to YouTube. There's tons of videos about how to read a Keepa chart. It really only takes a good hour if you dedicate yourself to just watch some videos on YouTube. It's not that complicated. But I hate when people say I'm learning salsa right now, and you know what pisses me off the most is when I'm at a salsa class and people are like, I'm getting frustrated because I don't know how to do a move. And like, what's wrong with you? It's so easy. Like, just do that. And now here I am doing the same thing to you guys. Oh, it's a Keepa chart. It's easy. No, it's not easy. But you do have to dedicate some time and learn and play around with it. But just go to YouTube. There's a lot of videos about it, a ton. All right, guys. Well, I think that's about it. Appreciate everybody for hanging out. We had a good crowd here. Hopefully you guys had some fun. Yeah, Joji has great videos on Keepa. He's an awesome teacher. Actually was a chemistry teacher. So yeah, hopefully you guys have a beautiful rest of the week. Thank you so much. All right, we'll see you in the next one. Much love.